Hello, Sean Cooper here. Earlier, I recorded a video on using the mortgage calculator to see how much sooner you could pay off your mortgage and reach mortgage freedom, as well as how much interest that you could save. But the mortgage calculator is helpful for a lot of people if you're a home buyer, first time home buyer, or anyone buying a home and you want to quickly run some numbers and see what your payments would look like, for example, with a 25 versus a 30-year amortization, you could do that as well as so yeah, and as well as those renewing their mortgage. If you're just, for example, if you are locked into a really low rate and with interest rates going up from the rock bottom days of during COVID when people were locking into like 1 or 2% mortgage rates, and you're just curious what your mortgage payment is going to look like. With today's mortgage rates, you can use this with the mortgage calculator. If you want to refinance your mortgage, roll in debt, there's a whole bunch of different things. But the main power of this is basically seeing what your new mortgage payment is going to look like and playing around with the results. So let's click on the third option here, the mortgage calculator. And then you could just create your own scenario here. I've already created a scenario myself. So just going to click on the mortgage payment scenario here. So first thing you want to do is choose the payment frequency. By default, it's monthly. So I would say that's fine. But if you want to pay on a bi-weekly basis or accelerated bi-weekly basis, you can just click these options here. Then the mortgage rate type is either fixed or variable or adjustable rate. Adjustable rate is where your payment changes when the Bank of Canada adjusts interest rates and the prime rate adjusts at the lender as well. Variable rate is where the payment is static when the prime rate changes at the lender. Don't stress over this. I would say adjustable is good for the majority of people if you're thinking about a variable with floating payments. So either fixed or adjustable rate, and then by default it's 5 years, which you could change, but that's what the majority of Canadians go with. So let's just click done. You don't need to worry about the compounding. Semi-annual is fixed rate mortgages. Variable rate mortgages or adjustable rate. A lot of them are monthly, but don't stress about that. You can just leave it at semi-monthly, and that's about everything. So let's click the done button. So where the magic happens is with this mortgage payment figure up here. If you're wondering exactly what your mortgage payment is going to look like, that's really the beauty of this here. So you want to enter the mortgage rate on the main screen of the mortgage calculator. If you're not sure what rate to use, I like to use a conservative rate, but if you're not sure what rate to use, you can go to the main screen and at the bottom, click on the rate button and it will give you an idea about what the rates will look like. Or you can click, the easiest way is just to click find a rate here and then just click on any rate that appears. So that's really the easiest way to do it. So if you're not sure what rate to use, you can either input your own rate yourself here, like 4.59%, or if you're not sure, you can just click the find a rate button and it will find it for you. So I'm going to input my own interest rate here, 4.59%. And as you can see, the payment changes, like let's change this to back to 4.49%, and let's just watch the payment update there in real time. So as you can see, it literally lowers when you change the mortgage rate. So that's a great feature. And then you can see the difference in the length of the mortgage. So I have it at 30 years. I would say put it to 25 years as default, but I have it at 30 years. So let's see, the payment goes up. So how it works is the shorter the mortgage, the shorter the mortgage, the higher the payment, but the longer the mortgage, the lower the payment. But of course, it's a balancing act. The shorter the mortgage, the less interest that you'll pay. The longer the mortgage, the more interest that you'll pay. But you don't want to set the payment so high that you have to have a Kraft dinner diet and you can not never afford to do anything fun. You don't want to be house rich and cash poor. The important thing as well is this figure just includes the mortgage payment. It does not include property taxes or any other expenses like home insurance or anything. So there's additional expenses as well as utilities, additional expenses. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. This is the biggest expense you'll have, but this isn't the only expense. You have to budget for utilities, home insurance, repairs and maintenance, and such property taxes. So this is the mortgage payment doesn't include any of that there. By default, It's set to today's date, but if your mortgage coming up for renewal on a specific date, you could just change it to whatever the date is, and it will recalibrate it there. All right, you can just by default hit it to set it to today's date. And yeah, it shows some helpful things down here like principal paid, interest paid over the mortgage, and then balance at the end of the term, and yeah, just some helpful numbers. So again, you can play around with this if you're looking for a specific payment that works with your budget. You can play around with this here and just experiment with this. There's also another option where you can reverse calculate your mortgage amount from a payment. So if we click on that option there, if you're looking for a specific payment with a rate, you can find exactly what mortgage amount it would be there. So again, there's other settings. You can really play around this as much as you want, but I would say for the vast majority of people, the default screen, the payment screen is best. So I hope you find this helpful. And again, I'm more than happy to run some numbers for you, but if you want to be able to run your own numbers on your own time, then this calculator is really great for that and a very helpful tool. So I hope you find this helpful and great speaking with you today.